Thanks to the supporters of channel member Felix Bjorkman. Well, the magic of the cup, eh? Today, we face Liverpool twice, 4 days apart, in 2 matches that are going to go a long way towards deciding our success for the season in both the league and the cup. I'm not sure the double is still on. Hello and welcome to Club 4, Part 11 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have 2 games against Liverpool. One in the Premier League, one in the FA Cup. And if we win both, happy days. If we lose both, Thursday night football is in our future at best. Since you were last with me, we've actually had a little bit of a wobble since beating West Ham in the last round in the last episode. And we've lost both of our games. I'm hoping this is just a bit of big game-itis that you get in Football Manager from time to time. We got dangerously close to a very nice situation. We've panicked a little bit and fallen back. So the league table now has us 5 points outside of the Champions League places. Only 3 points clear of Leicester in 8th place. Still a big gap down to 9th place. But of course, finishing 8th doesn't really get us anything other than the fact that, let's remember, we were only supposed to avoid relegation this year. So whatever happens, it's already been a fantastic season with 11 games to go. And we're still in the FA Cup, albeit facing Liverpool as well. The big positive is that both of these games against Liverpool are at home. I'd like to win them both, please, if the universe could arrange that for me. I've got a signing coming in the summer. If you watched my Barcelona series, you're about to get very excited. If you didn't watch my Barcelona series, you should. It was great. But joining us in the summer is a 33-year-old Tammy Abraham coming in on a free transfer from Roma, where he's been continuing to knock the goals in Serie A for most of the last 10 years. I love Tammy Abraham. He's just going to offer us something a little bit different up front. He's obviously an English homegrown player, which is something that we need to add into the squad. Not my typical signing with him being 33 years old, but he's only coming in on a 1-year contract. And to me, a 1-year contract for a Tammy Abraham who still looks like this, to have someone who's 6'5" with that kind of pace and physicality as an option off the bench. I mean, come on. Are you telling me you wouldn't want that? Of course you'd want that. Tammy Abraham's coming to Norwich. Lovely stuff. Shame we can't play him today. This is the thing we can play today, though. And I'm going to do something that the comment section has been telling me to do. I don't really know why I settled into playing them the other way around. Alvarez was obviously playing as the deep line forward last year and doing really well, although he's actually been doing pretty well as the advanced forward this year as well. He's just a very good player. But Pedro Luis, who, to be fair, is also having a very good season playing as the deep line forward, is a very quick, physical player. And, I mean, they might be better this way round. Who knows? Or I might be swapping something that works for the biggest games, arguably, of the season. He's got 11 goal contributions this season. He's got 14 goal contributions this season. So what's that? 25 goal contributions between them. They're both averaging I think the other one was 7.24. He's a 7.25. They're a fantastic partnership as they are, and have provided, I would suggest, more than half of our goals between them. We've scored, let's have a little look. We've scored 41 goals this season, and 25 of them, those two have been involved in some way. So they are absolutely crucial and have been playing well. So let's mess with them because the comment section said so. Because let's face it, one of 2 things can happen here. Thing number 1 is it works. I cut all this bit out and look like a genius. Thing number 2 is it doesn't work. We get knocked out. We probably would have done anyway. But now I can blame you lot and it's not my fault. It's brilliant. So, Hoy and Hal in goal, a back four of Angelino, Caio Caesar, see, I've remembered how to say his name correctly, Mateus and Wagyu, Zamorano at the base of the midfield, Janusek and Tipple ahead of him, Carlos then in behind Alvarez and Pedro Luis. Obviously, we can swap them around again if it looks like it's not working. There was a good suggestion from somebody else as well, that we have them set to rotate with each other mid-match, which what I might actually do, because they're both just really good at playing both roles. So it might be an idea to have them kind of swapping role mid-game and take it in turns as to who's going to be on the shoulder of the last man and who's going to be the creator of the two. But we are starting things off with Pedro Luis furthest forward. He's in straight away. He's taking him 13 seconds to score. Oh, my goodness. I'm a genius. I am an actual genius. I wish one of you lot had suggested it. As it is, obviously, this is completely my idea, my creation. I noticed some things that were going on and felt like Pedro Luis was probably going to be a good option to move into the more advanced striker role. And once again, Kev is proven to be a genius. Norwich 1, Liverpool 0. What a start to the game. Luis is in again here. Chasing down the goalkeeper. Didn't quite get there, but we're causing all sorts of problems for Liverpool here. Janusek bursting through, and we've seen him score from that kind of range a couple of times already this season. This time he can't keep it down. But, I mean, Pedro Luis is a handful. For sure he is a handful. Zamorano with the cross coming in. There's Pedro Luis again. I mean, he's everywhere. Oh, this is what we spent £36 million on. This is what I wanted all along. Oh, I might have made some mistakes over the last 28 games. I know it's not like me, but maybe, I mean, it was, in my defence, he had a bit of a slow start. We did play him this way round, right, at the start of the season. They both started quite slowly. I swapped them, and they started winning. And, I mean, the results speak for themselves. They've both played very well in the roles that they've been in, so I didn't really feel the need to change it back. But the people have spoken. We've changed it back. I mean, it's not necessarily a long-term thing, because although Luis has looked dangerous, Alvarez hasn't really been in it so far, and I'd rather have them both playing well and both being a threat like they have been than just switching it around so it only works for one of them, which appears to be what's happening at the moment. But obviously we're 25 minutes in. It's a bit soon to be judging. We judge this in 5 or 6 games' time. We give them a little bit of time now to settle into playing these roles this way round, and if Pedro Luis ends up rattling in the goals, then we know that this is the way that they're going to be staying. 1-0 to us at half-time, which, as you can see from the league table, this would be an absolutely massive result if we manage to hold on here. Probably more significant to the future of the club than progress in the FA Cup would be. Even if we were to go on and win the FA Cup, this gives us the opportunity to go on and qualify for the Champions League, which would be huge for the financial future of the club as much as anything else. But European qualification of any kind from a footballing perspective would be ace as well. Right, Alvarez hasn't played very well. This is something to bear in mind. Playing them this way round, if it's not going to work for Alvarez, he doesn't really work for Norwich. That's a pretty sensible rule of thumb here at Norwich. You play to Alvarez's strengths because he's been the best player here for 10 years. Diaz is going to come on as well. We've also brought on Mortellaro to play in behind the strikers. De Luca coming on for Alvarez. We'll stick with it for the FA Cup game as well. But if at the end of that one, Alvarez is just nothing, then maybe we swap them back, because at least then they were both working. Because having him this way around, although Luis looked dangerous earlier, we've seen nothing from him really in the second half. He's about to score again here, isn't he? He is actually going to score again. Oh, he very nearly scored again. He got in. I mean, he's certainly getting more chances, as you would expect, but he's also great at creating the chances. I think maybe just playing it by ear, and whoever's in goal scoring form plays as the attacking one of the two, rather than having it swapping randomly automatically. If someone scores in the previous game, they play as the advance forward in the next one. Is that dumb? I don't know. I'll figure something out, I'm sure. This is a little bit iffy from our defence, but we've got away with it, and De Luca's coming away with the ball on the counter-attack. He's held it up nicely there, playing it into Diaz. It was a lovely pass. Diaz slotting Luis through, and he's gone round the keeper, and there's a second goal for Pedro Luis. We have a new superstar. We have a new hero. He is a Brazilian wonder kid. He's probably too old to be a wonder kid now. He is a Brazilian. I tell you who is a Brazilian wonder kid. Caio Cesar he's a Brazilian wonder kid. I noticed that the other day. But Pedro Luis is he's doing what we thought we were going to get. Norwich 2, Liverpool 0. We are 3 points behind Arsenal again, looking at 4th place in the Premier League. We are looking good for Europa League qualification, if nothing else. And it's advantage Norwich from a momentum and an emotional point of view going into the FA Cup game, which is coming up now. Right, just a couple of tweaks for the FA Cup version of the same game. Then Knowles returned from his suspension, so he can come back in at the back. We also need to keep an eye on Caesar, who apparently isn't fully fit. Did he get injured in the last game? He played the full match. Did he pick up an injury? Tight calf on the 20. No, I don't really understand then. He's not showing as being tired. So, don't know. He can stay in, but we'll keep an eye on him. Sessegnon rotates back in. I mean, mainly because Angelino's cup tied. But Sessegnon, I mean, we tend to rotate between Sessegnon and Angelino anyway. They're basically the same player. And I've just tweaked the front two slightly again, keeping them in the same roles we used in the last game, but swapping the sides the roles are on. Just on a working theory that maybe Alvarez plays better on the left. So he can play as the deep lying forward on the left with Luis as the advanced forward on the right. I can't remember what way round I had them last year when Alvarez was playing well as a deep lying forward. I might have to go back and look at some of the videos from then. It might be that this was the exact role he was doing last year. And by playing him on that side, it doesn't really work. He doesn't have a side preference. Neither of them do. So it shouldn't make a difference. But sometimes these things make a difference. So we'll take that into account. I've also brought LOLLUJO in as well because it's a cup game and LOLLUJO is our cup goalkeeper. So LOLLUJO is going to play in goal for us again today. We've not actually told him he's a cup goalkeeper. I think officially he's listed as backup goalkeeper. But I don't really know from the new, what is it called? The new thing. This is content, Kev. The squad status, I think it's called. You've got backup keeper and cup goalkeeper on there as options now. I'm not sure which one is higher ranking. So I've told him he's a backup, but I play him in the cups anyway. And Pedro Luis is in again. I think he's offside that time. But he is an absolute nuisance playing as that advanced forward. I think that's his role for life now. I've made the decision in a game and a bit. Oh, is it actually going to be allowed? We've gone to VAR. I think it has been allowed. I mean, to me, to the naked eye, not that my eye is naked, I'm wearing spectacles. To the spectacled eye, he looked offside. We can't tell at all from that angle. I don't know if we're going to get the one with the fancy lines on. Are we getting fancy lines here? We're going to have to zoom out so we can actually see him. Oh, no. I'll allow it. He's onside there. Well, there we go. 1-0 again. And Pedro Luis has 3 goals against Liverpool in, 115 minutes? I think that's as good an argument as you're going to see that he should be playing in that more attacking role. Tipple winning the ball back in midfield, and now Carlos looking to play it through to Pedro Luis, who's in again. Oh my word, I hope he can do this against teams who aren't Liverpool. He's absolutely ruining them today. They don't know what's hit him. He's just sort of come from nowhere. He's had a good solid season, and they're like, well, what's that genius done differently? I can see he's wearing a coaching top, so clearly he is quite the tactics person because he's wearing a training top. If he was wearing a suit and tie, I would believe he's done nothing and it's just a change of form. But look how he's dressed. He must have tweaked something. I have tweaked something and it's worked brilliantly. 1-0 up now at half time. Wagyu has, I assume, picked up a knock. Unless he's just feeling all tired. I guess we have to bring Kante on. It's not ideal because Kante is want away. He's on the transfer list, and I don't like to play transfer listed players. Certainly if they're transfer listed at their own request, because I don't like to have grumpy gooses in my team, but needs must. Kante's going to have to come on and play. He's already been stripped of the vice captaincy since he decided he wasn't playing enough football. And I think this might be his very first appearance since he threw his toys out at the pram. Hopefully it'll teach him a lesson that if he was just a bit more patient, he'd have been playing a lot more football by now. Right, Zamorano is tiring as well, but we don't have Haruna on the bench, which is a little bit of an oversight. Apparently Tipple can play there. I don't know that today is the day to experiment with Tipple playing in that role, although to be fair, is better. I mean, he can do Segundo Volante or the deep line playmaker that we would want. He's got 13 tackling. There's absolutely no reason why he shouldn't be able to play there, other than the fact that he's just as tired as Zamorano. So I think in the interest of not messing around, we'll just bring Diaz on as we normally would. And then for my final trick, Mortellaro for Gilberto Carlos again, because it's what we usually do. There are some tired legs around the place that we're going to need to keep a little bit of an eye on. I'm also keeping an eye on this Trent Alexander-Arnold because in the Streamer Showdown tonight on Twitch. He's in my squad that's been drafted for me. More on that in a video coming up later today that will show you how the draft went down on Wednesday if you're not familiar with the Streamer Showdown. But there'll be a video out later today showing you my squad, and it'll be live on Twitch from 7 o'clock tonight. And Trent is in my team. Although it's probably not a 50-year-old version like they've got here. They're using him as a complete wing-back, though. Writing that down. Right, we're going attacking because it's the FA Cup and we don't really want to be messing around with penalties or replays or extra time or whatever it might be, although Liverpool are getting themselves back into the game here, so we'd probably take all of that at the moment rather than a defeat. I think Lewis is offside this time, and either way, he's messed up his little chip over the goalkeeper anyway, but I don't know if it's just that he's so quick he always looks offside, because that wasn't given as offside either. And he is very quick, and Cucurella has been sent off. He's in the team I drafted in the Streamer Showdown, but they got taken off me and is now being managed by second yellow card. It's all kicking off in the Streamer Showdown, and my fullbacks are very much involved in all of it. But now they're down to 10 men. We really, really want to finish this off now rather than going to a replay, because this feels like the opportunity. There is no replay. It's gone to extra time, which I think means we can make an additional change. I think we need to change the striker or a striker. So we'll take off Alvarez, bring on Casolare, and hope that his energy up there can help generate something for us. We're going to drop a little bit of encouragement. Liverpool have got a lot of tired players, and obviously they are down to 10 men. They're just looking to cling on at this point. I mean, we've been so much the better team. It is a little bit frustrating that we're not quite able to make that final clinical breakthrough. I'm going to demand more, because it would be very nice to score a goal now rather than letting this go to a penalty shootout, especially when we've got our reserve goalkeeper on. We don't really want a reserve goalkeeper involved in a penalty shootout. Diaz with the corner. He was looking for Noel but couldn't find him. Kante playing it out to Diaz again, who brings it down nicely. Plays it across to Pedro Luis. Casolare's there, but his header is straight into the hands of the Liverpool goalkeeper, and I suspect that is going to be that, and it is a penalty shootout. I am not messing around picking my own penalty takers. We'll get Will Still, assistant manager, to do that for me. It looks like it all makes sense. I mean, look at the state of this. We've got no one in double figures for penalty taking. This isn't going to end well for us, is it? Oh, dear me. Right, team talk-wise, I don't know that was the best team talk we could have done. At least it is at the Norwich end. And we just need a big performance from LOLLUJO. This is the chance to make himself a star here. He doesn't. First penalty up. It's 1-0 to Liverpool. Looking at those penalty-taking attributes, I'm not feeling at all confident going into this shootout, which is a shame, because it would have been nice to have the opportunity to win the FA Cup. Mortellaro makes it 1-1. And now Liverpool up to take their second penalty. Come on, LOLLUJO, make yourself a hero. No, that's another very good penalty. That's been 2 good penalties from Liverpool to open things up. Of course, we don't know how good their penalty-taking attributes are either. Pedro Luis then from the spot, and he scores as well. 2-2 after 2 penalties. I might zip up for this. Look like a real manager. Come on, I look like a hooligan like this. You can't see any neck below my beard. 3-2 now. I can't even talk like that. It's squashing my Kevin's apple. It's ridiculous. Right, Griffin Diaz from the spot. He scores as well. 3-3. Liverpool, of course, being down to 10 men, if it goes on forever, get back round to real players earlier, don't they? Is that how it works? I don't actually know how it works in that situation. If we get to an 11th penalty each, so they get to have their best penalty taker taking it again. That feels like an advantage for having a man sent off. Right, Noel had the lowest composure of any of the 5. I mean, yeah. He's our captain, but his composure, I think, was 9. His penalty taking was lower than that. We just don't have a team that's set for taking penalties, which is, I mean, it's not something you really think of when you're squad building. But maybe it's something we need to be working on in training. LOLLUJO to make himself a hero. He doesn't. Liverpool advance in the FA Cup. And we can now focus on the Premier League, which is what we wanted. all along. We didn't want to win this stupid tournament. Anyway, that's why no one says there's magic in the cup. It's like the magic of the cup is once you're knocked out of it, you can focus on the league. That's the real magic of the cup. We've got 10 games left. Let's make them count. Right, I'm definitely going to show you Peterborough tomorrow because I didn't show you them at the start of the season, and it'll be nice to catch up with the boys again. So I guess we'll do Peterborough and Watford tomorrow, and then the final couple of games the day after. And fingers crossed we get into some kind of Europe. And I guess at the moment it's more what flavour of Europe are we most likely to get, although a couple of defeats and we could be right back in the mix with Leicester. And looking at, for some reason, that's gone down to 6 rather than 7. Man United have won the Carabao Cup. I guess there's so many teams left in the FA Cup that aren't in the top 6, and that's maybe why. Do we need Liverpool to go and win the FA Cup now? How far into it were we? We're only in the 5th round. So, I mean, there's loads of teams who could win it. Chelsea, City, Liverpool, United, any of them winning it means 7th place is a Europa Conference League spot, I want to say. We'll worry about that when the time comes. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much for watching.